What's going on, all you wild David Cronenberg enthusiasts? It's your two favorite uncles back here for Cinephellas. I'm Logan Myers. That's my good mate over there.
I'm Henry Hill, and that's right. We are back tonight to review David Cronenberg's latest film starring Viggo Mortensen. What's it called?
Crimes of the Future. Cronenberg has always been on our list of favorite horror directors. This guy's been putting out great films for like 40 years. Crazy Canadian. His movies are always out there, always a sci-fi mindfuck most of the time, but really putting out great films over the years. The Fly being one, Videodrome. The list goes on and on. He returns to cinema. It's been a minute since he put out a movie with this newest body horror film, Crimes of the Future, starring Viggo Mortensen, Kristen Stewart, Léa Seydoux, and much, much more. And what happens in this film?
This one's a tough one. Like I was talking with Logan earlier, this one's hard to describe what's going on the screen. It's very out there. It's like a totally different world you're watching what's going on the screen. But it's David Cronenberg, and you're going to get to some fucked up scenes involving the human body, much like he's done with Jeff Goldblum and The Fly. This one has to do with Viggo Mortensen's character, Saul Tenser. Doing these public displays of art, basically, that have to do with organ harvesting and harvesting new organs within his body. So you get a lot of cutting and surgery and body horror right away from this film. Just a weird film, very strange and out there film, but an interesting one, we'll say the least. And Viggo Mortensen, Léa Seydoux, Kristen Stewart, everybody's taken this movie 100% seriously. So you get some good acting here in such a strange and out there movie.
It's very erotic in this movie as well. It's going into organs and the times having orgasms over the weirdest stuff and removing the organs and having the tattoos on it, like you were saying. And Kristen Stewart's character shows up, and she's has all these emotions toward Uncle Viggo, and it turns in some wild scenes. And yeah, basically throughout the film, you're getting Cronenberg practical effects, which are always top notch. Every film he's put out, he always had the best practical effects. Obviously, scanners, when the guy's head blows up, thinking all the classics, and he returns to practical effects. And this is what really sells this movie. Cronenberg attached to a sci-fi body horror movie, it's going to be great. It's going to be out there, and he does what he wants to do. He makes his own movies. They always stand out. I'm always very excited to see what he has in store for us for the next film. And this is definitely a fun movie. A person that has a weak stomach maybe would not enjoy this, but horror fans like ourselves, would really have a great time with this. Going with an open mind. A lot of great Hollywood A-listers in this film. Great cast, supporting cast. Score, cinematography, beautiful as always, the way it was shot. It reminded me much of like Dark City, the 90s flick back in the day. I don't know why. Something about that. Eerie, weird setting, really out there, and it really pulls you in, your organs in, and never lets you go.
Aww. Literally. Yeah, you have to have seen Cronenberg before to kind of understand these kind of films and this new film from Cronenberg. But if you've seen his prior work, understand what's going on in the film more than just viewing this as your first Cronenberg movie. You're going to think it's just too out there. And I don't even know. Yeah, like you mentioned, the body surgery scenes and the cutting and all that might put some viewers off, but we're used to that kind of stuff. So nothing new for us. But yeah, I like what he did here. He, has a vision for his movies, and it's, it's something unlike I'd ever seen before. It's a whole different world, like I mentioned, the future. And he loves working with Viggo Mortensen. This is they've worked on several films together. History of Violence being the one that I really remember being great for the two of them. But this is pure science fiction, looking at metamorphosis of organs and art in general, going, as far as, cutting into ourselves and like tattoo and putting artwork on our organs. It's these wild concepts from Cronenberg, but if you can appreciate Cronenberg and his out there-ness, you can also appreciate this movie.
His otherworldly storytelling and directing is always out there. So this is a movie I definitely should check out, going with an open mind. We didn't really spoil too much because it's one of those movies. It's so much that goes on. It's mind blowing. So, it's a movie that we both highly recommend. Yet another solid movie put up by David Cronenberg. Also really glad that we got to check this out recently and watch it and talk about it. And yeah, it's a movie that you guys should definitely give your time. Check it out. See what you think. Go with an open mind. It's out there. It's fun. It has a great cast and music and everything else. So with that being said, I'm going to give David Cronenberg's Crimes of the Future a 4 out of 5 Cronenberg hair pieces.
Those were some erotic scenes when they were cutting into Viggo and exposing the organs, weren't they?
I had to step out of the room.
Says all the Cronenberg fans out there. Definitely a unique, one-of-a-kind vision, a unique science fiction film. And just the latest from David Cronenberg. He has a rich history of putting out these kind of films that question reality, involve these intricate concepts, and look at art and look at the future. And just Cronenberg's awesome for these kind of things. I enjoyed the movie. There's some creepy stuff in it that was erotic and stuff, but looking past that and looking at the performances, the direction, the way it was shot, the score, everything, and the passion involved from the director and the cast on this, out there movie. I can appreciate that, and that's why I'm going to give Crimes of the Future a 3.5 out of 5 Kristen Stewart hair pieces.
So I want to hear from all you wild horror fanatics out there. What did you like about Crimes of the Future? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite David Cronenberg film? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to click subscribe. Also, check out these wild rascals on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV movie news and reviews.
Man, what a wild film. I'm glad you finally checked it out.
Yeah.
I told you it was going to be a mind trip, and it lived up to its name there, Crimes of the Future.
I want more. I want another movie by Cronenberg. Get out of his wild Canadian cabin and just make more movies.
That was a blast reviewing the Crimes of the Future, David Cronenberg's new film with you. Just a crazy movie, one that we both, enjoyed and had a good time watching. It's different than the movies we watch all the time. It asks big questions and, just a different movie, something to take us out of the big blockbuster mode, watch kind of an artist's vision on the screen. Man, those Crimes of the Future were wild, weren't they? Thank you guys for tuning in for another Cinephellas movie review. This has been the two wild boys reviewing Crimes of the Future tonight. Check it out and let us know what you guys think. Thank you for tuning in. Until the next Cinephellas movie review, I'm Uncle Henry Hill.
And I'm Uncle Logan Cronenberg.
Until the next Cinephellas movie review, cheers!
Cheers! And I'm 2 Miller Lights too.